What's going on, everyone? So, want to get a little bit of a video here. I got a couple things I want to go over. My head's not in the right space right now. Actually on the way to bring our family dog to the vet. It had something called a lipoma, which it's basically a bump. She's had plenty of bumps before. It's nothing like abnormal. This one grew big. We had her checked out. They said it wasn't cancerous. They said, should be removed. This, and that. Well, it opened up and ripped open over the weekend here, and wasn't that bad until last night, where the blood just started coming out pretty decently. I'm going to flip the camera around here. You can see. Her name is Pretty. I'm going to put the phone down really quick, though, because I'm getting on the expressway. Okay, so I'm back. I had to focus on driving, of course. Surgery is set for tomorrow. The doctor was calling it a tumor. I don't know what word you want to use or whatnot, but either way, it's bleeding pretty good. I don't even remember if I mentioned earlier in the video, but woke up this morning. There was probably about a 14 to 18 inch puddle of blood. We believe that she might have scratched it, and if it clotted and closed up last night, we believe that it might have opened up. But long of the short, we did take her to an emergency vet last night because it wasn't getting better. It was flowing pretty good out of it. So that was our concern. We didn't want her to lose too much blood. So really quick too to get past this little intro. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for people to feel bad. What I want people to understand, and this is kind of what, and people wanted to see what it is to be a business owner, and a business owner that cares and just doesn't just hey, I'm not coming in today. I already took care of some business stuff this morning. I'm actually going in because surgery is now set for tomorrow. Someone is going to be home with her. We don't want her home by herself, just in case she opens it back up and she were to bleed, continuously bleed. So that's the part of being a business owner. And every now and then I'll hear it or I'll see it. A business owner's got it lucky. One of the downsides, at least for me, is I don't. It's hard for me to disconnect from the business. Family always comes first, as I said in the last video. I think that's about it on that subject. I am exhausted. I'm tired. Lack of sleep. I can't sleep when stuff like this is happening. But I'm also one of those that I can't just sit around. I have to be working. So I'm going to go into work. I'm going to try to pull a double today because we have surgery tomorrow and she has to get there early. At that point, it's going to be out of my hands. I'm sure I'm going to be worrying. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work. So I'm going to take some caffeine, get some of my tea inside of me. Now, what I will add into this now is the mic portion of this. So last video, I can shoot it down below if you haven't seen it, or if you're watching this at a later date. Mike did make it to the show, and he did win an award. Now, I don't remember the award off the top of my head. I think it was Best Honda. I can go look really quick. Give me 1 second. So he actually won the Best Civic Award. So what I'm going to actually do too, as I've been thinking, I'm going to throw in some little bit of technical stuff, or more so some cars, so you just don't see faces for the first 10 minutes of this video. So I'll insert Mike's little clip in the middle here somewhere. We'll wrap this video segment up. I don't know how much I'm going to get in here. I wanted, of course, get more technical stuff, but I dealt the cards that I've been dealt this week, and got to make sure everything is good and dandy. And so I think I'll just insert what I'm going to go work on now. So there you go. So up next is this 8th gen. I don't know if it's a true Civic SI because it has an engine swap. I don't see the standard badging on it. This one is utilizing our Haltech harness with a WB1 sensor, which is the Haltech wideband that feeds directly into the computer. There's our harness, and it does piggyback off the stock computer, which is right there. This one is pretty standard. We had to do a lot of stuff to get it running right. We had to do the engine mounts. One of the bolts was stripped off into the frame, so we had to take care of that. To give you guys an idea too, so the intro video, speaking about my dog and whatnot, we are still on the same day. Just to give you guys an idea where I'm at. My mind is 100% focused on this car now. Kind of got to be like a robot at times where, you know, this is my task right now. My dog is taken care of for the time being. Finish this, on to the next one. So that's that. I'm gonna hop in it. We got some stuff to go over, some stuff I want to feature too, because we get a lot of questions about the Haltech harness that we make, and if the stock features will work on the dash. So I'll get into that a little bit. You'll see a pull, and we'll go from there. So I'm dialing in this 8th gen. I'm inside. What I do want to show you guys, because a lot of guys will ask us, well, if we run the harness, am I gonna retain the cluster and stuff? So that's kind of a yes and no. Some stuff will work, some stuff will not. Other stuff will be illuminated, such as like the check engine light possibly will be on, and that's the nature because it's a standalone. So I'm gonna get going on the dyno. I'm gonna flip the camera around, and you can see how the majority of the stuff on this one is working. The only thing that is not working is gonna be the coolant gauge, which this is why we do recommend people that if you're getting like a newer car and it has a whole CAN network that talks to the dash, we do recommend the CAN gauge that Haltech sells, because that can monitor you can monitor your air fuels, you can monitor your RPMs, you can monitor your vehicle speed, and your coolant temps, all through HON data. So that is nice, and that's also nice price-wise if you don't want to jump up to the Haltech flat screen, the digital display. Did you catch my slip up there? I mentioned HON data, and I should have mentioned Haltech. So tuning the vehicle, where it comes first, and then I just figured I'd break out the camera so you guys see the real side of things and how things can be sometimes. Oh, and I will add one more thing. I believe the CAN gauge, I'm not 100%, I believe it also, there's an app for your phone, so you can also view it through your phone. But the other thing, as I was saying, is it has the ability to also read your air fuels. So if you have the Haltech WB1 that is wired into the computer, then you have the gauge. So then you got an air fuel gauge. You can monitor all that stuff. You can watch it all. And since it's wired into the computer, you have the benefit of having closed loop enabled. Of course, if I'm tuning it, I dial it in and make sure that all is set up. And if you're not familiar with closed loop, well, that's a whole other different topic that I can go on and on about, but it's a big positive thing to have. So I will add, because we get a lot of guys that will buy different types of gauges that I don't want to say are not the correct gauges, but if they were to buy the other style, it would benefit them more. If you guys got questions, you're watching this, whenever, contact us. We can get you set up correctly, making sure that you got everything you need, and also taking advantage of the other benefits. You know, we see this a lot where guys will just go elsewhere, and you know, other shops are just trying to sell them everything and anything, where it's like you got two wideband gauges reading off the same one, where in reality you only needed one of them. Could have saved you some money, but it is what it is. So hit us up. Now I'll flip the camera around, you're gonna see. So this one's pretty much a wrap now. I made some good power on it. Definitely have some room to improve as far as his performance parts go. He's got a short ram intake, which is just killing this car. On these cars, what we have found and tested over and over is the hybrid intake that we sell. If you're looking to get some modifications done, hit us up. And that's the other thing too. I don't know if he had this short ram. I don't know what the deal was with that. He didn't buy it from us. Always, as I was saying earlier in the video too about the Haltech parts, always consult with a shop that's just not a parts shop. That not is just out to make a quick buck on parts. You know, we do this day in and day out here. I've said it before, I'll say it again, 23 years in business, not an overnight type company. We're around for the long haul. Consult with a shop. Doesn't have to be us. Consult with a quality shop. Do your research, do your homework. Make sure they're not just selling you BS. You know, I had a customer hit me up not too long ago, and I was explaining stuff, basically what I just told him. I'm sorry, basically what I just said on camera. And he asked me a question, and he's like, well, why would this company sell me this? Why would this other shop sell me this? And I said, sadly, they're just out to make a quick buck. They're not looking at the long term. They're not looking at the, well, if I sell this part, it's going to make me the most amount of money, but it's not the most ideal part. See, in the long run, when we sell you something, we're expecting it to perform, of course, because at one point, that car could be on the dyno. So if I sell you, let's just say I sold you this short ram DC sports intake, and I said this was the greatest thing in the books. You can't get anything better. This is what you need. And then I put it on the dyno, and I say, hey, we could make more power if you had a different intake. An intake arm, as I'd call it, not to get it confused with an intake manifold. It kind of start making you question stuff, wouldn't it? Well, hey, Bob, you really recommended this. Now, why are you recommending another intake? You know, so not only do we have experience here, and not only do I sit on this dyno, it almost seems every day of my life. I do get some days off. But that's it. That's my outro for this little segment. Don't be scared to hit us up here, too. We're here to help. We get a lot of, hey, I don't want to bug you, or hey, sorry to bug you again. That's what we're here for. All we ask in return is your support. And just remember, we're here. We can give you free advice to a point. We can't write a novel, and we can't help you do an engine swap step by step by step by step, and we can't give you every single part number for every single bolt. But if you support us, you come here, you purchase products, or you purchase products online, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure you're taken care of. And that's what it is. We get a lot of guys, too, looking for free advice, and then they just go right back to Amazon and support Amazon. And then when they have an issue, guess where they try to go to for that help? You know, so just take all that into consideration. Since I'm underneath here now, and I didn't get a chance to look at the header on this car, but this thing is small. This thing is probably, I don't even know if this is 2-inch. 1.75, steps up a little bit, and then his exhaust back here is 3-inch, so you can kind of see it. Maybe if I zoom out, the size difference. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see that. So that's definitely not helping the case. So we'll let him know on that, and we'll go from there. So here's our next car up. It is a 9th gen Civic SI supercharged. Little bit after hours right now. Still got some energy. I had a late lunch. Just I wasn't hungry earlier. Probably really didn't even have to eat, honestly, but I knew if I didn't eat, it would shorten my time and my energy. So we're gonna get this one going today, see how far I can get into it. I wanted to say really quick too something, because somebody asked me, when do I get a break? When do I get a day off? You know what, in all honesty, I see a lot of people that have it a lot harder than me. And I'm grateful to be where I'm at. If I was not at work right now, I'd be at home, and I'd be probably worrying my head off. And as I said earlier, I'm the type that likes to work, so we're gonna get inside this one. We're gonna dial in idle and partial throttle and cold start, and then we're gonna build some boost and see what it wants to do. So I will be back, and then we're gonna discuss a little bit about e-tuning. That's what I want to kind of get out there. E-tuning, remote tuning, whatever you want to call it. Can tuning with revisions. It's all the same basic principles. Me tuning your vehicle when it's not in front of me and it's hundreds of miles away, thousands, who knows? Or maybe just a couple cities over. We do local e-tuning as well because some people can't make it down here. Dyno tuning is always best, of course, because the car not only is in front of me, but there's a lot of stuff that I can see that I can't see in person. I'm sorry, that I can't see over the internet. There has been many of cars that I have diagnosed over the internet and diagnosed tuning. It's just a little bit harder, I guess you can say, because you don't got the vehicle in front of you. So gonna hop in. Let's see what this one wants to do, guys. So a little change of pace or a little switch up. So where you see in that car, I had to go home. I mentally was exhausted. I had to be with family. It is the next day now. Pretty is out of surgery. I will add, and then I'm going to add the mic clip at the end of this. I made a post yesterday on Facebook and Instagram just to let some people know that didn't know what was going on. And the responses and the replies I got were amazing. I truly can't thank everybody enough. Words don't describe how I feel when people ask about the car community and what it's about. And, it's just, thank you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to go over there. Pretty did great. Her surgery went well. They removed a couple other things on her, 4 in total. The big thing was around her neck. That was the main concern, just because, how bad she was bleeding. It was a lot of blood. Like I said, seeing that puddle of blood in the morning, you can only think, you hope for the best and be positive. She made it through the night too. So last night we wrapped her up again, really well. We didn't have any blood coming out. So everything went good. She needs to recover now. I'll go over there really quick, and she's heavily medicated still. So she really is tired, and I don't think fully knows what's going on. So she has the one on her neck that was removed that was fairly large. She's got a couple other ones on her. They're really concerned about the one on her backside, only for the mere fact that it was firm. It felt like it was attached to something and not just a bubble, I guess you can say. I'm forgetting the words. She's still got one right here too, but they're not concerned about that because it doesn't feel like it's attached to anything. She'll be running around and be back at it. And then we have our other older dog that we adopted. So this guy's name's Mac. You got Pretty over there. She is our family dog that we've had her whole life. Well, actually, somebody else had her and gave her up. Mac has about 3 teeth. He was in the same situation. He was going to be given back to the shelter because his family was moving, and I guess they just wanted to get rid of him. So we brought him into our life as well. And our couch has blankets everywhere and towels everywhere because Pretty was bleeding on everything. And I will say, sorry for the rambling. If you wanted some technical stuff in this video, you're not going to get it. It is what it is. I'll insert the clip with Mike. I'll get some more videos of Pretty when she's a little bit better. And like I said, it's been everyone here in the household has been super stressed. And I thank everybody. Like I said, words I can't really, I can't put it into words. So here's Mike. If you're not familiar with the whole Mike situation, the clip, I'll have the link down below from the last video. Go watch that one. And, here it is.
Hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment to properly thank Bob and his team over at RC Auto Works. My name is Mike, and I am the proud owner of this 1995 Honda Civic. Now has a K24 swap. Just to give you a little backstory, over the winter, I decided to go from a D-Series turbo setup to a K24 swap. And been working on it the last few months, trying to get ready. I do have a big car show I'm attending on Sunday. Mind you, today is Thursday. It's WECFest. It's Navy Pier in Chicago. Pretty big show, and a show for kicking off the year here. Was getting my swap in order. Went to go start it, had a few issues. Was having it running. It was running very poorly. I was having connecting issues with my computer. So I decided to reach out to Bob. We had already been talking. Bob's going to be the one tuning this car as soon as I'm ready to go on that. We were talking about tuning, so I reached out to Bob, said, hey Bob, got some issues. Not only was he able to help me, he was staying up late at night answering my phone calls while he's at home trying to enjoy time with his family, and was very helpful as far as, helping me diagnose things over the phone. And that's not something you would normally get from your typical shop. Now, I had a tall request for Bob today. I wanted to get my exhaust fixed. As you know, the length on the exhaust for the K swap versus the D-Series swap are different. They do need to be modified. Originally, my appointment today with Bob at RC Auto Works was to get my exhaust fixed, so I can get it going in time for the weekend. However, at a last minute request, I had requested if he can help me diagnose the few issues that were going on with the car, since I do not have the proper equipment for that type of stuff. And I've known Bob now for what's going on nearly 20 years. And when it came time for somebody else to touch the car other than myself, Bob was the first one that came to mind in this deal. They were able to properly fix my exhaust. I will show that off a little bit later at some time. They did a very, very good job. I did not get the technician's name that was working on the exhaust, and he was taking his time. He did a very, very good job, very professional. I was very surprised by how well he was doing on that. I've never met him before, but Bob took the time out of his day to diagnose the car for me, and he hooked up his magic keyboard that you all are probably familiar with by now, and was able to work out exactly the issues that I was having, giving me further insight about what I need to do from this point on until we set up our tuning date. So I just wanted to thank Bob. I was undergoing a lot of stress from this situation with the show coming up so close. Most shops, when you talk to them, and try to say, hey, I need this and this and this and this, and you only have one day to do it, most of the shops will just tell you to get lost. Unfortunately, fortunately for me, Bob was there, and he said, hey man, do the best we can to try to help you out, whatever it takes to get you in that show. And for me, man, that means everything. I was losing sleep at night. I was leaving the wife on the couch alone every night while I was out in the garage thrashing, working all day. And it was just basically having a really rough time, losing sleep at night. And, Bob and his team assured me, hey, don't worry, don't stress it. We'll get it figured out for you. Just get it up here and we'll see what we can do. Rented a U-Haul trailer in the morning, brought it up to Bob. And here I am back at my house, same day with a running car. So guys, if honestly, if you need any type of diagnostic work, any type of performance work, any type of tuning work, and you're in the Chicagoland area, even if you're outside the Chicagoland area, I highly suggest you guys check out Bob and RC Auto Works. Honestly, I was very, very happy with everything, how it went today. They were, their hospitality while you wait at the shop is amazing. And I know that's not something normally customers drop off their vehicles. He was willing to let me hang out there while they were working on the car, and they were, offering to take me somewhere for lunch. They were giving me drinks, and just, you know, making sure that I was comfortable and happy while I was there. And everything just went really good. I left with a smile on my face. I came there dreading the worst, and basically Bob took his time and got everything lined out for me. So guys, honestly, if you're really looking for honest work, really high-end quality, I mean, I was very thrilled with everything, the professionalism and just everything they have going on there. I highly suggest you check them out. Bob, Angel, the guys in the back, I really appreciate everything you guys did for me. You are now making it a reality for me to make it to this show. So just wanted to take a moment to properly thank Bob. You guys will see more content on this car at some point when we get it on the dyno. Until then, Bob, guys, thank you so much. Really mean a lot for me that you take out a time out of your busy day and to fit me into your schedule. So thank you, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing finished up. And if you're out at Navy Pier on Sunday for WECFest, make sure you stop by, say hello. I do have some stickers and some business cards and a few things for Bob and the guys at RC Auto Works. Feel free to stop by and I'll definitely hook you up with those. Thank you, guys.